What's up, my XRP brothers from another mother and my cute XRP sisters? This is Rob with the Rob 007 channel, coming to you from a beautiful Venice Island. Gorgeous day down at the beach, 5 out of 5. And the title of this episode is The Potential XRP Price is So High that it actually gives Jay Leno the brain freeze. If anybody remembers that from the Tonight Show, comment down below. Got a good one for you guys today. And by the way, do you know the net worth of his car collection is well over $100 million, and his total net worth is about $400 million. Hence, 25% of his allocation of his portfolio is into tires and maintenance, I might say. And the second title of this episode is Clarity at signed and active equals a Cambrian explosion. I cannot be more excited to be at this channel this afternoon. And thank you as always. Well over, I think, 12.5 plus views on the last episode. And welcome my new roughly 200 subs again. And the views have just been outstanding. Appreciate each and every one of you. But indeed, if you are new to this channel, if you would, hit the subscribe button to subscribe. The bell for notification, that like button, tap it, slap it, whatever you are feeling for a, what's today, hump day? You want to slap it. And also, if you do Twitter, follow me at Rob XRP007 on Twitter. Love my XRP Twitter family, and grateful to have had XRP007, that channel, for 2 years and my 31 subs. I think we'll be getting them back really soon, but you guys will always know me as my XRP007. And a disclaimer, nothing I say on this channel is financial advice. This channel is for educational and entertainment purposes only. And don't forget about the fine folks at Caleb and Brown, probably one of my top 3 places to custody as well. More importantly, just to execute a trade. Link is down below in the description. Tell them Rob sent you. Love the folks at Caleb and Brown. And also Kraken, they're in the news today, but also if you open up an account with them, they give you a $75 bonus when you actually open an account and fund it with $200, hence a 40% instant return. Love that. They're my favorite exchange to trade on if I'm trading on the exchanges. And also, if you want to get a slightly higher, you get a $100 Yes Ben Franklin when you open up an iTrust Capital account. As a signing bonus. I'm actually going to be speaking with them in about 15 minutes, so I'll update you next week on that. And also, if you're looking for an ROI on your XRP OMG, along with institutional grade custody and a bunch of other cool stuff, just email me your name, number, and a good time to call. My email's in the description. Beware of the scammers in this, both on YouTube and on Twitter. I will not comment on any comment in YouTube, and yes, Twitter, they do a good job impersonating me as well, so please be careful. In the comments, James says, not if but when XRP has a purpose. People laughed at Bitcoin. Keep the faith. Well said, my friend. And also in the comments, if we get a full 1% basis point cut, then we get a margin call on reverse carry trade. Yes, and that would be with Japan, in which case we may see that financial collapse start to unravel, and from the phoenix, the ashes, the phoenix will rise from the ashes. That is called your XRP, and yes, it's not if but when. And I think actually if they do a 1%, it will be when they are ready for that controlled demolition, and hence, you know, as Rosie Rio says, a shock to the system. Also in the comments, Mets 8686 says, Kraken, the Fort Lauderdale office has been open for the past 2 months, so that's not that far away, so you can validate all your transactions through that office. So currently we got Bitcoin trading at 113,589, feeling kind of lucky, I suppose, up about 2.5% on the 24-hour. XRP right around that $3 mark over the last 24 hours. It's up about 1.6% on the 24-hour. Quote of the day comes from none other than Paul Atkins. He says, nothing is more powerful than an idea whose time has come. That used to be one of my favorite all-time quotes when I was much younger. And also, he says that it is a new day for the SEC, where the clear rules of the road will be outlined, and crypto's time has come. Really, just that's a flip the switch moment, if anything else is. And also, absolutely in our prayers, Charlie Kirk has been shot at an event in Utah where he was speaking. So his thoughts and prayers with him and his family. Has a beautiful family, and I will say he's such a polite, well-spoken and polite young man. And he just actually just opened up the conversation to hear all points of view. So sad. It looked pretty bad. I hope that he can battle. I hear that he's in critical condition, so we hope that he pulls through. Also, by the same token, the heart goes out to the young Ukrainian woman, only 23 years old, that was stabbed and killed on a bus in Charlotte, North Carolina. And it's just a senseless murder. And when she came here for a better life, just things like that just wear heavy on your heart. So hopefully things get better here. And also on a lighter note, we'll change gifts because we want to go. Happy birthday to none other than Clint Eastwood. You know how old he is? Can you say 100 years old, hit that century mark? Saw a picture of him yesterday. He looks grand. What a great actor. What a legacy of films that he has had over the years. Fantastic. One of my favorite idols in the movie industry. And his net worth was $375 million. Well, let's see. Oh yeah, worth repeating. I think that a lot of people, I think we're just on the cusp of the beginning for our XRP. A lot of people are calculating $10 at the end. Some see that as beginning. Yes, that is the beginning for me. Economic news, the Supreme Court is trying to fast track the pause on the tariffs, which was imposed by another judge, and they're going to fast track it till the end of the year. Can you speed up that fast track? That's a little bit too late for me. The quicker that gets resolved, the quicker we can get everything kind of going in the right direction. Kenny Wynn out in California, shout out to you, Kenny, says U.S. Bank custody. U.S. Bank, and I looked into them, they custody crypto. They're about to custody crypto for fund managers and ETF providers. You know what they do a year? Can you say 23 trillion a year? Absolutely massive. And also, this is huge. Really, really exciting stuff. Charles Hoskinson, in an interview, the founder of ADA Cardano, says after Clarity, he says Google, Apple, and Microsoft and Facebook will say, hey, we're in the crypto game, and they're going to offer up crypto custody. And get this, 3 billion wallets. And the total supply of the total XRP holders is no more than 3 million wallets. Absolutely dwarfs it. Unbelievable. I might have mentioned the last episode, been busy, so if it's old news, so it goes. Can you say too much money, too much winning? Can you say too much winning? Yeah, yesterday, the BBVA Bank is now going to custody RLUSD in Spain. That is absolutely huge. And just as I said when I talked about a couple of weeks ago, I said, you know what? When this case finally gets over, it's just going to be one news event after another with 1,700 NDAs. Was that an NDA? I do not know, but I do know, and it feels that way. Every single day we have massive news, some partnership, something moving the needle. Does it move the price? No, but that's okay. It doesn't matter because that's not what we're waiting for. So please be patient. BBVA, by the way, it is a top 20 global bank in Spain. Boom. All right, so breaking news. This is from Kraken. I said they're in the news again. They're bringing tokenized U.S. stocks to all of those in the EU, all of their EU users. That's really exciting as well. It's great to see them have a broader footprint and profile up and beyond just here in the USA. If you missed yesterday's video, you might want to watch it. It was kind of a dandy one. Sandy Call was a speaker. Is going to be a speaker as well. Great little clip of her. She says, and listen up. You do not want to liquidate your position before the wall of money comes in. And that's one of the things I always say myself too. I said, I really don't want to scale out any XRP until 1, the suit is over. 2, we have the Genius Act and the Clarity Act enacted. And 3, also just add in those 3 amendments passing like the XLS 70. And then also, why sell until we can actually, and you'll be able to see it on Live Coin Watch, Coin Market Cap. You take it, you'll see the total volume of the market cap that we have and in all coins. So why sell until we see that number go up massively? She goes on to say the setup is so powerful that if you wait, you're chasing returns at that point where you could have been positioned right here and now. Well said. How big? She's talking about the traditional finance being well over 100 trillion. And she says if we get 5%, Brad's on the record saying we'll be at 5 trillion by the end of the year. We're at 3.8 right now. So that's only adding 1.2. But so I'd likely see that we're anywhere from 10 trillion to 20 trillion, if not more. I definitely say 10 trillion's in the card. And about that brain freeze, the Jay Leno brain freeze, Fidelity, they predict that Bitcoin could reach a staggering 1 million by the year 2028. Someone threw it in Grok, and they said that if Bitcoin reaches a million, at that point, XRP, what it would be worth for it? Wait for it. Can you say $25,000 per token? OMG, unbelievable. Charlie Sheen, he was up on Water's World. And why do I mention this? Because probably the biggest challenge is one thing to make wealth, is more importantly, is to preserve wealth. And so you guys all have your head on straight, not financial advice. But he was on Water's World yesterday on a two-part interview, the second part of his interview. And at one point, after 2.5 men, he had a staggering net worth of 150 million, compared to today, 3 million is his current net worth. He'd have to get a 50x just to claw back where he was from the 2.5 men days. And that's why I mentioned that. And so we're all going to come into some life-changing wealth, and so be prepared, have a plan. I always say that. Now, there's your not financial advice investment lesson. Plan, invest with an ROI, be frugal, all right? For me, I actually have 3 rules. Anytime I buy an asset, and I absolutely love it. 1, I like to have an asset that does appreciate in value. 2, I like to have an asset that produces a recurring income stream. 3, the most important one is that it provides utility, and I can enjoy it, i.e. a yacht or real estate, or take your pick. Okay, and then so the next big day ever. Are we actually, is the next best day ever about to show up when my phone's about to blow up? I think so. Will it be the Clarity Act? Yeah, that's going to be huge when it passes, but also expect it to be signed into law as soon as 3 days later by the current sitting president. And then the key is the implementation. From what I can calculate, implementation of the Genius Act should fall somewhere in November, maybe December, and hopefully they have it pair up nicely with the Clarity Act being effective. Let's just say also by that sometime within November, and if it's delayed, perhaps the start of the year to start 2026. Comment down below. I want to know what you think. And also, yes, what's so exciting is now we are only next Wednesday. Rate cuts, and this is how my mindset is. It's like after next Wednesday, that's when the journey and the ride up begins. And then I think it's possible that, depending upon the size of the rate cut, that we will never ever see $3 again. But anyway, so excited about that. What are we going to see? Who knows? Will it be a full basis point, a half, or a quarter? That 1% basis point move, he says they're going to do it when they're ready and ready to orchestrate a collapse. And as in one of the commenters said, hey, he thinks that 1% basis move is enough to cause that call margin on the reverse carry trade. Also, the ETFs, that's October 18th. Again, I'm on record saying I think they will all be approved by then. And that's also, once again, definitely once we hit that, it's just a floating liquidity pool moving up with just those ETFs pushing along. And another note I was sharing this morning is also keeping in mind that with the M2 money supply, we will have multiple rate cuts. I think upwards of 5 before the end of the year. So again, that M2 money supply is going to be a floating liquidity pool that keeps going higher and higher. So much to look forward to. Last kind of recap of the countdown that just has me so fired up. I think I'm up to 9 now. Real quick, ETFs, yes, 2. Strategic reserves by countries, 3 strategic reserves by corporations. RLUSD for the IPO market could be huge, just like it was for ETH in the ICO market. And and then number 5, minting of the RLUSDs, that's going to ramp up. Number 6, real world asset tokenization, which includes treasury bonds and real estate, among other. And again, don't forget about the Ripple bank license. That's my phone's going to blow up, especially if we get the Fed master account that goes with it. That's going to be a fun, giddy day, especially if it comes after we have Clarity signed into law. It's a possibility that we may have that Clarity Act passed by the end of this month. Cross your fingers. We got about 20 days to do that. And number 8, Clarity equals Again, a potential 3 million wallets between Google, Apple, Microsoft, and Facebook. That will melt faces. Unbelievable. And the final one, of course, we mentioned in the last episode, is when the banks decide to use XRP for large wholesale payments. We had talked that before, so I'm going to keep this brief because I am running out of a little wiggle room. And plus trying to keep this in and around 15 minutes. And for a little TA down by the beach, none other than eGrad Crypto. He says, close above 307. He says, we're go for launch. So put that as for where we want to look at for a daily close. And then also, last but not least, my countdown calendar to November 22nd, that ISO 222 day implementation. All banks fully on board. It's now only 73 days away. So that one goes right up here. Will our lives change in 73 days in a big, huge, significant way? Absolutely, it's going to be changed between now and then. Count the 9 reasons I just gave you down below. And so yesterday's targets, well, anyway, so we're going to save the best for last. Yes, we're going to actually just kind of go over my price predictions. Again, conservative, $4 by October 1, $8 by November 1, $20 by December 1. That is my $20 ETF price. My optimistic price category is $200 by the end of the year. It pairs up with the Tide report, which is a combination of ETS plus the IPO line of credit thing and other just buying pressures on it. And then the third one is that beautiful Valhalla target of $1,000 4-digit XRP. Could it be higher on November 22nd? And then my last worst case scenario for that 1K 4-digit price, it would be the end of March of Q1. In any event, get your calculator out, play and have fun, because you're going to need a bigger boat. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace out.